Prime Minister Modi has now departed for Croatia after wrapping up his visit to Canada, where he attended the G7 summit. He also held key meetings with leaders of France, South Korea, Canada and others. Speaking at the outreach session, Prime Minister Modi urged for cooperation on AI-related concerns. He also took a tough stance against terrorism. Sumita, tell us more details on this story then.
That's right. The Prime Minister has concluded his second leg of his three-nation tour in Canada, where he was attending the G7 summit, and he held meetings, bilaterals, and pull-aside meetings with leaders from 7 countries, and that includes France, Mexico, South Korea, European Union, Brazil, Japan, and Canada. So Canada is one of the most important meetings, perhaps, that's come out. Of course, he had conversations with other leaders on how ties with India of all of these countries, especially in terms of economic and trade relations, they can be given a boost. But specifically with respect to Canada, remember, this meeting assumes significance given the fact that it was the first meeting of the Prime Minister with Mark Carney since Mark Carney assumed office following Canada's general elections. Now, let's understand what was discussed as part of that meeting with the Canadian Prime Minister. Well, according to a readout that's been issued by both India and Canada, it says that India and Canada are connected by a strong belief in democracy, freedom, and rule of law. Freedom and rule of law. Now, these words are very important given the fact that the ties between the two sides came to an all-time low in 2023 when allegations were made by the then Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau regarding India's involvement in the killing, in the alleged killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, and that really brought ties between both sides to a nadir of some sorts. And of course, but now a fresh start has been made. It seems like a reset in India-Canada ties has been made as part of that readout. Both sides, the leaders committed to resuming senior level discussions on trade connectivity and people-to-people ties. They also mentioned that they will be taking calibrated steps, both India and Canada, to restore stability in India-Canada relationship. And that begins with the early restoration of high commissioners of both the countries. And then, other than that, areas and cooperation in segments like trade, energy, space, clean energy, AI, critical minerals, some of these sectors were discussed. So overall, the meeting has at least established a reset of in ties between India and Canada. Now the Prime Minister has left for Croatia. He is going to be there and having bilateral engagements with the Prime Minister of Croatia, with the President as well.
Sumita, thanks so much for joining us with all those details.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.